Hey, what's going on? It's Bill Burr, and it's time for the Monday Morning Podcast for Monday. Hey. May 8th, 2023. What's going on? How are ya? Geez, how you doing? Old Billy Raspy voice. Just did 2 shows in Las Vegas at the Park MGM. Used to be known as the Monte Carlo, which I confused with the Bellagio. You know, because they looked very similar until Park MGM bought it and they put the green outline on it. Maybe that's why they did that. Maybe because the MGM is green. Maybe green's their colors. I don't know what. But all I know is I did 2 shows out there, and I want to thank everybody that came out. Had an amazing time, and it was an unbelievable show, too. I brought Nate Craig out, who's got a special coming out very soon with All Things Comedy. And then we had Erica Rhodes was on it, too, who fucking killed me all weekend. Was absolutely hilarious. If you don't know about her, you definitely should. Just an amazing comedian, and we had a great time. First time I ever brought her out on the road. She was definitely fun hang. It was just a great time. She had a great time. You know, the first day I went down, and the fucking elliptical stunk, you know. Oh my God. I can't fucking believe how out of shape I am. I'm like so like in shape, out of shape. They had a little jazz Gretsch kit backstage for me to mess around on, and there was a mirror to the side of me, dude, and I sat down, and when I looked over, it was like all my muscle just turned to fat and just went bleh, like right. I mean, I just, my back and my front were just like, it's just like, oh my, I look like a fucking salesman, you know? Like, that's what it looked when, I remember when I worked in the warehouse, when the suits, you know, at the company picnic, all of a sudden would be out there in like a fucking T-shirt, and you'd be like, Jesus Christ, where did that fucking 40 pounds come from? So, yeah, I really let myself go here, man. So I'm pretty, but I did good, though. You know, the whole weekend, the room, you know, has all the fucking snacks in it, all of that shit. Stayed away from all of that. The only thing I took was I had some peanuts. There's some douche right now go, oh, too much sodium. Oh, the sodium, you're going to retain water. Shut up. I'm not a fitness model. Okay, it was the best fucking choice. Other than the M&M's, Three Musketeer, what else did they have? They had every fucking candy bar you could possibly want. Stayed away from all of it for the first time ever. Because I'm like, I ain't fucking with any of that shit. And then Kenny will be like, do you want me to take it out of the room? I'm like, no, it's fine. It's fine. I can fucking handle it, you know? And then I'm fucking... You know what's funny? I used to do that when I was a kid. I used to get up early in the morning and I would sneak like a chocolate chip cookie because no one was around. And I remember getting caught by my dad. We literally had a cookie jar. This is how old I am. It wasn't in like a package. You had a jar of cookies. My mother probably made them. So it was a cookie jar, and there was chocolate chip cookies in there. And like, you know, I don't know how parents are now, like, you know, they just give their kids fucking whatever. I'm going to do that old man thing where like, you know, back when I was a kid, you couldn't get sweets. But my parents, you know, my dad was a dentist. So he's like, yeah, you're not eating that shit. Like the only time we had soda was when we went to Papa Gino's to get pizza. Then you were allowed to have a Coke, but you couldn't have a Coke. But we all had paper routes. Every once in a while, we would go up to the corner store up there and buy some football cards. But you know what's funny? I could never finish a soda. I just always felt like I was drinking like, I don't know what, like it was, your belly would get all distended. I could never finish it when I was younger. But anyway, yeah, I woke up one morning. One of the many different places I lived at as a kid. I think we were on the North Shore at that point, and I hopped up on the counter. You know, literally had to do like a muscle up. I was so small, you know. Got up there. Maybe I brought a stool over, and I literally had my hand in the cookie jar. We had like a breezeway, and my dad had left. I didn't even know he had left, but he forgot something, and he had come back in. The garage was on the other side of the breezeway. And he just tapped on the glass with his keys as my hand was literally in the cookie jar, just like the expression. Hand in the cookie jar. So I've always been like that. So I'm trying to finish that part of my life. I'm just like, well, I turned 55 on June 10th, and I am not fucking having any sugar until then, right? And then what? Bill? You're going to go back to sugar? I'm not doing any heroin until, I'm really starting to realize the amount of shit that people are addicted to. Like, I actually think that the new addiction, and I'm actually guilty of this, is like social media and the internet and allowing it to, it does something to your brain or whatever. Like, it's fucking weird. Like, if I see a video and it's like 9 minutes long, I'm like, I don't have 9 minutes. But then I will sit there and watch like 4,000 fucking 1 minute clips for the next 5 hours or whatever. I know the math doesn't work out, but you know what I mean. But I'm not going to sit there and commit to 9 minutes. Although I did watch an amazing documentary. Wait, stay on the subject, Bill. I actually think that like social media and all that stuff, it's starting to make people like mentally ill. And it's creating a new race of people. I'm going to call them the Instagrammers. Because, like when you look at a picture on Instagram, and you clearly know, you're like, that photo has been fucked with, right? Like there's like, I don't know, a filter, or they elongated the body, or like, nip tuck here or there, or the person's had plastic surgery. Now I'm actually seeing people, clusters of people, they seem to hang out together like races do, White people over here, black people over there, you know how we are, right? Now you have the Instagrammers, and you see them, they fucking, they're shiny. They have all top label stuff, and they almost, you're looking at them, they're human. Wait, are the robots here? You're looking at them like they don't look like any people I've ever seen before. Their faces aren't sweaty, they're shiny. And it's like younger people too, so I think they're getting like, I don't know. I think the way the guys are tattooing their face, I think a lot of the women are Botoxing their face when they're young. I have no fucking idea. But I'm looking at these people, I'm going like, and I just couldn't put my finger on it. I go, what is going on with these? Like, I just keep seeing them. They pop up more and more and more. I think the robots are already here, or some really good-looking in a different way aliens have begun, living amongst us. I don't know what it is. Everything's like Yves Saint Laurent, Balenciaga, that fucking M store. The store begins with M. What's that one? I don't fucking know. All that designer label shit. And you're just looking at them like, you got like $5,000 worth of shit on above your waist. Like, I don't know. But anyway, and then you got those types of people who are trying to look Kardashian-esque. And then you have the people that you can see it on their face that they argue politics all the time on the internet. They have like the weight of the world on their face. And then this bizarre sort of idea that they know how to change things, or that everything would be perfect if we all just did what they wanted to do. I'm kind of noticing, as the widget salesman has faded away, getting onto airplanes, the Instagrammers and the politicos, whatever they are, they look like, I don't know. Like, you ever just be having, like I did it to my buddy today. Like, I watched a podcast and somebody just said something so fucking stupid. I didn't even know what to say about it. It was I don't want to get into it because I don't want to like start a fucking war with like another podcast, but it was just like, essentially, I don't know how to talk around it, but it was just one of those things where it's just like, how could you be so fucking ignorant? Like, you know that thing that people do where they act like history begins the second something bad happens to them, and they don't try to see, well, how did we come up to this point? Like, how the fuck did we get here? You know what I mean? It was like Trump. When Trump fucking got in office, and I remember seeing this person on TV going, oh, this was white people wanted to take the country back. They wanted to take the country back with this guy. And it's just like, well, there's way more white people that, you know, that they could have easily just voted against Barack twice and he would have lost. So that's not what it was. I think it was 2008 when the bankers fucked everybody yet again, and they got away with it. And then we just had career politicians. Barack Obama, career politician. Hillary Clinton, career politician. And then this guy comes in like fucking, hacksaw Jim Duggan, right? Saying he's going to clean everything up, even though he's part of the fucking problem. That was one of the most amazing things I saw. Oh, the rich guy who doesn't pay taxes is going to help me out? Oh, okay. This should be, I'm going to drain the swamp I'm fucking neck deep in. So, anyway, I don't even know what the fuck I'm going with this shit, but like people, they act like, I don't know. Why don't I just get off this subject? Because I'm going to end up saying what it is, and I just don't need to create any more fucking drama in my life. Speaking of drama, the goddamn motherfucking Florida fucking Panthers won again. I just watched them win in overtime. I watched the game. They are fucking relentless. They're like Jason from Friday the 13th. Like, their goalie should be wearing a fucking Jason mask. Remember those old horror movies in the 80s where like the victims running away and the fucking Jason guy is just walking briskly and somehow catches up with them and they're always tripping over fucking logs? That's what the Florida Panthers are. They've won 6 fucking games in a row. Remember when Toronto won their first playoff series since, I don't know what, we've been riding horses to get to work? Some of us still do, Bill. All right, fair enough. I love horses. It's a lot of things I love, but like I don't know anything about them. I do love horses. Anyway, they make you want to work out. I don't get the legs, though. I just don't understand how they don't tip over. A lot of those big fucking things with the little legs. Mooses, right? Horses, giraffes. Just don't understand it. Like, why they have such little fucking legs? Like, can you imagine if they had, like, more, like, linebacker fucking legs? Or weightlifter legs? Just kicking the shit out of lions. Get me all right there, Fred. Well, the Florida Panthers, 6 games in a row. So anyways, when the Toronto Maple Leafs won their first round of the playoffs, they were chanting, "We want Boston. We want Boston," because they wanted revenge. Maybe they knew. Maybe they know hockey better than we do up there, right? Maybe they knew, like, that. We don't want to fucking play the Panthers. These guys are relentless. Oh, God, some of the fucking play, though, man. I swear to God, I've never seen, like, so few, like, they don't hit each other anymore. So I'm too old to know the names, all right? My kids are too fucking young for me to know the names, okay? So this guy, number 13, lucky number 13 on the Panthers, stretch pass, whatever they call it, at the Maple Leafs blue line, catches it, realizes, he's not going to go in the zone. He circles back, lets everybody kind of catch up, and then he kind of, goes through, like right through 2 Maple Leafs. One of them was covering another guy, but he was sort of like 1.5 guys were there to stop him. He goes right through him. Nobody even didn't even put a glove on him. Push him, touch him, nothing. He brings it down half wall, and he fucking shoots it around behind the goaltender. Goaltender goes from his left post to the right post. And number 13 keeps skating. The fucking, I'm not going to say the number because I don't like fucking shitting on people because I fuck up all the time. But the fucking Maple Leafs guy sort of half-ass, sort of stopped skating. And 13 goes right past him. They basically did like a give and go. Panthers shoots it back to him. He's behind the net. The fucking Maple Leafs goalie looks to the left as 13's coming around the right. By the time he realizes, oh, fuck, he right through the fucking legs. Over. With like 5 Maple Leafs just standing around. Like, what the fuck just happened? I know the feeling. I watched 3 straight games of that. I'm really fascinated with this fucking team. I respected them when they played us, but I fucking hated them because they were beating us. Now I'm just I'm like, I got to watch this team. Like, because this is, if they fucking go all the way, this is going to be epic. So I've been watching that series, and I've been watching the Edmonton Oilers Vegas Knights series, which has been great. And I swear to God, I was like, I'm just for fun, I'm going to put 100 on the fucking, it was in Vegas, right? The fuck? I'm not going to gamble, have a little bit of fun, you know? Partake in the festivities there, right? So, I'm like, I'll put $100 on Edmonton. I think they're going to fucking kill him. And I went downstairs. It was fucking hilarious. Park MGM. And this woman for Bet MGM is standing there trying to solicit me to go in there. I want to be like, solicit me. I've been fucking promoting you guys for like, I don't know how many years on my goddamn pod. You don't know who I am? I'm the face of this fucking company, lady. No, I didn't think that. I just thought it was funny. And I never got around to putting the bet down. I should have done it, though. They came out, gave the Vegas Knights the old right there, Fred, to the tune of 4 fucking goals in the first period. That Edmonton Oiler playoff power play is just fucking insane. You know, I just realized all I've done is talked about sports up until this point. I think I have. You know? Hey, it's that time of year, ladies. You know? I mean, you should be happy I'm talking about sports, ladies. The way fucking ESPN is putting all your non-ratings getting fucking sports on. Jesus Christ. The fuck are they going to put on next? I've never seen so many goddamn women's sports. This is amazing. Like, they haven't even earned the right to be on TV as far as, like, ratings, and there's, like, a crowd and all that. Like, that new fucking game of tennis. It's like ping pong had a baby with tennis. Whatever the fuck. That pickle. It's a new fucking game. I'm like, that's fucking... That looks like tennis for little people. Even that shit's on TV. But I know that is a fucking craze amongst young men and women. Right? That's the new rollerblading. Back in the day, you wanted to get laid. You went out and you bought a pair of rollerblades. You skated around. You learned a couple of tricks. Right? You went out there in your milk white, freckly thighs, skating around Central Park. Hoping some chick would fucking be like, oh, you know, I always wanted to fucking date a translucent fucking orange person. Now it's that pickle shit. But I'm wondering now, ladies, okay, you bitched your way onto ESPN. You bitched, moaned, and complained your way onto ESPN. All right? You did it. Congratulations. Now, women, you got to sit down and watch this shit so they can start making money. Oh, my God. They got to be taking a bath on this shit. It really is amazing when women complain, like, how much shit gets done. It's just the way they complain. There's, like, no way to shut them up until you just give them what they want. You know, you got to put fucking lacrosse. You got to put, what is it, field hockey, women's field hockey on ESPN. Not 2, not 3, not ESPN 1. You got to put on the first one, the original channel. It's like, nobody's watching your sport. Yeah, it's fucking sex. All right. Let's put it on. Jesus Christ. Anything to shut them up. Anyway, I'll be honest with you. I'm hoping that one of them takes off. Make some money. You know what I mean? Women's tennis does great, right? I would say, I don't know why they're so fucking dumb. Okay? They should fucking, it's women's volleyball. Women's fucking volleyball. You got to put that on there because men will watch it, and men watch sports. I think what ESPN is trying to do right now is would be like trying to get guys to watch, like if they put like the Real Housewives, if they did a male version of that, like we're gonna sit around, like we already have that. It's called the pregame and postgame show before and after a sporting event. I'm just fucking with you, ladies. I know, but it's really gonna be up to you. All right, I'm breaking your fucking ovaries over here. All right, you guys should stop watching that stupid, dumbass reality shit. All right, and help ESPN out before they lose their goddamn shirts showing all your fucking sports. All right, there's your ladies. There's your strong, powerful women. These poor fucking women athletes out there blowing out their fucking ACLs. The least you can do is turn on the goddamn TV and watch it. I will tell you this. I like women's softball. You know? I just love those fucking pitchers. However you learn how to throw like that. Whoever thought underhanded pitching could come in that fucking fast? That's like how you throw as a little boy. Like, here you go. And then somehow they turn that into like I don't know how fast they throw it. All I know is I couldn't catch up with it. Not with my old goddamn body. I went to the doctor. Listen to this shit. I don't have rotator cuff issues. I have bursitis. And a little bit of arthritis to go with my tinnitus. I got all the itises, people. Bursitis, arthritis, and tinnitus. Touch. You know? A truffle oil portion of arthritis. He says my shoulders are fine as long as I don't act like an idiot for the final third of my life. Anyway, so we're going to start some treatment on that shit and I don't know, see if I can fucking get it going. What I should really do is just admit to the fact that I'm going to be 55 years old and I need to start lifting the pink weights. That's what I need to do. I need to go lightweight, you know, a lot of stretching, fucking sprinkling cranberries and bran on this shit, whatever the fuck it is I'm supposed to do. So I had a bunch of people come out to my show out there when I was in Vegas and ran into an old friend of mine. You might know him from the Storage Wars, Kenny Crossley. And some of you just probably know him from that show. But back in the day, he was the doorman at the Laugh Factory from like 1995 to like around 2000, whatever, right? And when I first came out to L.A., in like 96, when I was like 28 years old. I thought I was old then. I was a fucking kid. And I met him, and he was just, we all knew him as Kenny the Doorman. And all these Boston comics all moved out there at the same time from my generation. And I'd gone to New York and then got an acting gig out there. So then I was out there. And that dude was like, for me, was like the one ray of light when I was out in L.A., because I got my fucking ass. I mean, L.A. it's funny when people sit there and they go, you know, it's a fucking plastic town, and everybody's so phony and La La Land and all that. This fucking town is brutal. I found this town harder than New York, you know? How come they never write a song about fucking Los Angeles? Maybe they have. It's always just that fucking, didn't the Eagles do something about it? Hotel California, was that about it? I have no idea. But, like, they're always writing songs that's, like, blowing New York City. If I can wake up in a city. I found New York to be, maybe because I'm from the East Coast, I just found it way easier. You know, it just was, I don't know. I don't even remember. I've spent so long since I lived there, I don't even remember why. But when I was in New York, it felt all right, and it, like, made sense. And even like in show business, which makes no sense, it made more sense back there. But when I came out here, I was like, this is just fucking, like, I don't even know which direction to walk in out here. Like, it was just this open expanse of space. There's all of these fucking people, and there was like, you know, very few avenues to get in. Because I have to be honest with you, like, I see now, like, I'll tell you, these kids today, these comedians, like the opportunity that the control that they have over their own destiny is fucking amazing. and watching, like, I'm literally watching comics blowing up now without the industry. You know, they can just, like, they can film themselves, post clips, and do all of this stuff and get this momentum going. Like, they're just these self-sustained units. Like, I think in the future, you're going to see the no manager, no agent ever, no stand-up special comedian ever, just clips. And everybody's going to know who he or she is, and they're going to make their zillion dollars on all they need is like an entertainment lawyer or something like that. You still need somebody to talk for you to book your money. They'll probably figure, you know, they'll get some AI shit to do that. Anyways, the writer's strike is going on out here. I've been fucking busy here and going on the road, so Billy's got to walk the picket line. You know, I'm in the Writers Guild. I've written a lot of shit jokes over the years. I should go down there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just give us the fucking money, you cunts. It's unbelievable the way... I got to be honest with you. I'm so glad I'm not just a writer, because the way that they treat them, it's like this town is literally nothing without them. You know, unless you want a bunch of reality show shit. But now they got like that... I guess they got this AI shit where they'll be like, you know, write me a play like William Shakespeare. You guys ever watch Idiocracy? Like, it's getting scary how fucking accurate that is becoming. Because I feel like I'm starting to be shaped like those people. Wasn't that the movie where they couldn't get up anymore? Oh, that was a Pixar movie, combining them. But I did see a clip the other day that said, you know, when they were designing the clothes of the future, that they forgot to design the shoes, and then they just found the dumbest shoes they could ever find. They're like, don't worry, these things will never take off. And they were Crocs. Jesus. Anyway, so I got to sit after my second show and talk with Kenny Crossley, a.k.a. Kenny the Doorman from my generation of comics. And we just sat and talked for the better part of an hour, just going through the old days, man. It was fucking awesome. So anyway, let's do some of the reads here. I came home and fucking, you know, hung out with my kids and all that, and then I had to go work out because I'm gradually being shaped like a pear. And I drove my new truck, man. I fucking love that thing. God damn it, I love that thing. I have no need for it whatsoever, but god damn it, I love that fucking thing. All right, let's do a little bit of reads here. Oh, look who it is, everybody. Indochino. Looking sharp all wedding season long, shouldn't be expensive. With a custom-fitted suit from Indochino, you'll create priceless memories without costing a fortune. Customize every detail on your shirt, your suit, shirt, dinner jacket, and more in a range of colors from a traditional black or gray to burgundy or olive to a classic Hemsworth navy. They got a nice green, too. I actually saw one of their stores the other day. I was going to go in and get the suit because I want to go as De Niro's character in Casino. Ace Rothstein. Well, Ace was his real name, right? Sam Rothstein. Every suit is made to your exact measurement, and you can customize every detail. Create a suit that fits you and your style perfectly with options for fabrics, lapel shape, custom monograms, statement linings, and more. They also have tuxedos starting at $579. Why rent when you could buy a custom tux you can rewear for years to come? It'll also keep you in shape. You know? Instead of just renting a new one every time, a little bigger, right? And then all of a sudden you fucking put on a tuxedo, you look like a bouncer at a strip club in the 80s. Sorry, I just remember I fucking went to Club Super Sex. That's the name of it. Club Super Sex on St. Catherine Street in Montreal. Montreal Canadiens versus the North Stars. And I went up there with some buddies of mine working in a warehouse, and we fucking went up to that club. And I still remember this guy who was working the doors, just fucking 1980s roids. Okay, you think the fake tits were big back then? You should have seen the biceps. This guy fucking was like He was like the size of a refrigerator, and he had a double-breasted suit over it. That guy was a fucking house. But even on Indochino could get him a double-breasted for fucking $5.79. Indochino also offers completely custom-fitted shirts, casual wear, and more. Get a superior wardrobe personalized to your style and taste without the luxury price tag. They're always adding new pieces and options so you can stay on trend and in style. Explore their relaxed yet refined approach to spring suits with their new spring fabrics. RSVP, knowing you've got the perfect look all wedding season long from Indochino. Go to Indochino.com and use the code Burr, B-U-R-R, to get 10% off any purchase of $3.99 or more. That's INDOCHINO.com, promo code Burr. Hey, do you guys think that game Pickle is going to eat into the NFL, NBA, NHL, MLB? When was the last time one of those four got toppled? Because 100 years ago, or maybe a little more than 100 years ago, the two biggest sports were boxing and horse racing, and then baseball. And then along came a guy named Babe Ruth and an owner who wanted to produce a Broadway play. ZipRecruiter, everybody. Look who it is, old Zip. Recruiter. When I say Zip, you say Recruiter. Whether you're starting a new business or growing one, if you want it to be successful, you need the most talented people on your team, right? Do the Lakers use ZipRecruiter to get all their free agents every fucking year? That's where ZipRecruiter comes in. And right now, you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/Burr. Why would you let help you hire why should you let them help you hire for your business? Well, Jesus Christ, their powerful matching technology finds high-quality candidates for a wide range of roles. Got your eye on one or two people who'd be perfect for your job? Zip. Yeah. Lets you send them a personal invite, so they're probably more likely to apply. Personal invite. Isn't that nice to do? It also offers attention-grabbing labels that speak to job flexibility, like remote, training provided, urgent, and more to help yours stand out. Let ZipRecruiter fill all your roles with the right candidates, 4 to 5 who post on Zip. Get a quality candidate within the first day. See for yourself. Go to this exclusive web address to try it out, ZipRecruiter.com/Burr. Again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/Burr. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. Where are we going here? You know what's funny is women's sports finally gets the TV coverage. It would be funny if they just stay low in the ratings, and then they also called that sexist. They said that the rating system was sexist, and then they bitched their way into like actually being called the number one sport in the country. I would enjoy that. All right, Harvard. Jesus Christ, you're on the wrong podcast. You're bringing this up. Harvard, Harvard. Harvard. Bill, was listening to Anything Better podcast and heard you talk about how nice it must be. Nice it must say you're from Harvard. Not from Harvard, you went to Harvard in a disagreement. This person said, I graduated from Harvard 8 years ago and can tell you 100% that there are a lot of morons who go to Harvard. I love hearing that. Did you ever just say to yourself when you were there, like, I am at the fucking college in the United States? Everybody knows it is. Even if there's smarter people elsewhere, it's fucking Harvard. Where did you go to college? Harvard. That's fucking unreal. Listen, even as a fucking meathead, I can't hate on that place. You got that Roman Coliseum, you know, where your 5'8" offensive guard blocks for your fucking 5'6" quarterback. They have the ability to understand where am I? I fucked up. There are a lot of morons who go to Harvard. They have the ability to understand really complex systems of math and science, but when it comes to anything outside of those fields, they're just idiots. Well, yeah, I mean, some's going to suffer if you got the beautiful mind there, right? Like Matt Damon did in that movie. You know, you're not going to have any social skills, although he did, right? He was pretty good picking up the chicks. Whatever, it was a fucking movie. I still like that movie. But, yeah, well, I mean, they're too busy trying to figure out how much liquid is in a cylinder, aren't they? Anyway, Harvard Business School is a great prep for life if you're going to work for companies that have the same agenda as Harvard, which boils down to this. Harvard graduates who run large companies and hold high government positions are always looking for more Harvard grads to come do things the way they are doing them. Oh, wow. So it's like an Ivy League mafia. I've heard about this. Well, I went to Emerson College. People out here at Emerson hook each other up. Why can't you guys carve up the fucking world? Well, us Emerson people write skits. Anyway, if it makes money and doesn't disturb their status quo, it has a chance. All right, let's just stop doing my jokes here and just read this so you guys can hear, okay? Harvard graduates who run large companies and hold high government positions are always looking for more Harvard grads to come do things the way they are doing them. Having a new or original idea is not praised unless it's made money. If it makes money and doesn't disturb their status quo, it has a chance. My wife went to a, quote, regular 4-year school and is light years ahead of my colleagues in the same field. Getting into Harvard is harder than graduating. Well, that's kind of what I was saying, but like, I wish you kind of elaborated more on in what way is your wife light years ahead. Never, and I mean never, think someone from Harvard knows more than you about anything just because they went there. I never really thought that, but I did respect it. It's not like you're not smart. You had to get in there. Unless your dad went there and you're some dope. I get that. If you're, what do they call that? You're a lineage. What is that? I'm a legacy. I'm a fucking, I don't know what it is. Ivy League schools are the greatest farce in education. Jesus Christ, dude. Did you have any fun at this fucking school? I mean, you kill you. It's just like I said, I believe in Santa Claus. You're like, just some fat plumber in a robe. It's like saying, well, they were on SNL, so they must be funnier than me. What do you mean? Like me saying that or you saying that? I'm a stand-up comedian, so I think I can hold my own because we're both doing the same thing. But I before I was a comedian, or for a long time, I thought everyone at SNL was funnier than me. I'm not saying they're not still funnier than me. But what are you talking about? What are you shitting on SNL for? Anyway, no, SNL is an institution and it helps to be on it, but you are absolutely funnier than a lot of people whose names have been forgotten from that show. No shade to SNL. As you throw it under the bus, just needed an example. All right. All right. Well, I think what you're saying, you can kind of say that about a lot of shit. But, I'm not going to debate you. You went there. But I would say this. Can you have a little more pride that you went there just so, a guy like me can still hold it up high in my fantasy of what it is? I just look at the buildings and all of that shit. I just remember just seeing it. It's like, this is like something I'm never going to experience. Like, this is just... Fuck, I wish I tried in high school. Like that would, if I tried, it would have turned it around anymore. It's amazing. I mean, I think... Whatever. I mean, someone's got to run the country. Why not be you guys? And as far as what you're saying about how Harvard people think, people in showbiz think the same way when it comes to money on the other side of the desk. It's like, we're not going to try some new shit and risk all of our fucking jobs. We're just going to keep whatever's in right now. That's why they keep making these superhero movies, because they're fucking working. People keep going to see them. They will make those for the rest of time. For the rest of time until people stop going to see them. Like, remember when they just came making all those vampire and werewolf movies for a while? In the 80s, they had all those action movies. There's always like something that is a big hit, and then they just keep ripping it off until they just, kind of dies on the vine. That is pretty fascinating to me, though. But I will say this, still, yet, even though all the stuff you said about Harvard, it still must have been great. I think that's... Here's like my top schools that if I studied, I wished I went to. And I'm just basing all of these on the campuses. All right? All right, Harvard. All the fucking Ivy League schools, they always look amazing, yet sort of creepy. I did a few of those schools. I just always remembered, like, it's just so you walk in, you just feel people being like, ew. I don't know. What is he doing here? University of North Carolina. Beautiful campus. It's another one. UCLA. Stanford. It's another one. Then there's some that I went to that I'm actually fans of the football program. But I'm not into the school. Like University of Michigan, Jesus Christ. It's a fucking city. All these college gigs I did, and I can't even remember the ones that I liked. Georgetown. I am a fucking elitist snob. Listen to me, just rolling through these here. UMass Amherst. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, I don't know. Wow, I was going way back in the fucking bin for those, trying to remember those. I think I did more college gigs, more nights at college gigs than I actually was in college. And granted, I commuted. I used to do those fucking things all the goddamn time. Get like a college agent. They just route you through the whole... My college agent was out in the Midwest and just fucking send you through all of that shit out there. All of that land. And it was always like in the wintertime and all the crops were cut down. It was fucking freezing cold out, man. It just always ended up in Nebraska, Kansas, Iowa, and South Dakota. Minnesota. Oh, Jesus. Fucking brutal. Brutal. That little, that quadrant right there. Wisconsin always gave me hope. Illinois wasn't bad. As long as you were near Chicago. At least you knew, like, I'm definitely a city guy. Fucking going out to those goddamn places. I remember I think it was on the 29. I can still remember the roads. Some fucking road. 35 is the one that goes up from Dallas all the way up. I want to say to Minneapolis. There's the one just west of that, and the numbers go down. Right? Starts with the 5, and they're all odd numbered if they go north-south, and even if they go east-west. That's how I'd figure out if back in the day when you had a fucking map rather than Google Maps. All right, I'm babbling here. Old NBA big men. Oh, I was talking about this, how I just missed the 2 7-footers battling, down below, the Elijahwans, Kareems, Robert Parrish, all of those fucking guys, man. It was great. Bob Lanier, Moses Malone. Oh, Moses would kill you. Anyway, old NBA big men. Now all those guys are just taking fucking 3-pointers, which it's amazing that they can hit the shot, but it's just like everybody's like a fucking point guard now. Anyway, hey there, Billy Double Dribble. I was listening to your latest Thursday podcast when you were talking about how you miss watching big men battle down in the post. I am right there with you. I miss it too. It drives me up the fucking wall when I see a 7-footer choosing to shoot a fadeaway shot as opposed to going through the defender's chest. Sadly, this is where the game is already at. Yeah, I mean, it's not going to change either. So, I mean, this is their game. They like it that way, and now they're into this game called pickle. When I was a kid, pickle was you were doing like a rundown, like in baseball. Is it called pickle? I don't even know. Pickle paddle pickle. Those nerds who have never learned how to use their dominant hand say there's a higher probability of success when you spread the floor with nobody in the lane. Oh, is that why they do it? All right. A big thing to look at is the upcoming NBA draft to see how far down Zach Edey from Purdue gets picked. 20 years ago, a 7'4", 300-plus pound center who is mobile and can knock down free throws would easily have been a lottery pick. Now he won't go in the first round? I miss the old days, boo-hoo. Thanks, and zip. Go fuck yourself, recruiter. I like that ending. Yeah, it's like, I don't know. It's just, it is a different game. I've kind of tapped out from the NBA. I tried watching the Celtics and that type of stuff. I just find hockey so much more exciting. But even that game has like changed. Like there's people just skating around with the puck. Nobody getting fucked up. The days of the Scott Stevens coming in and just fucking ending your career with the shoulder to your fucking head as you. I mean, that obviously they had to get rid of that in the game. But like, there's not a lot of checks or anything like that. It's just everybody is like a fucking beast, stick handler, you know. So it's a lot faster game. It is exciting, but I gotta say, like, I don't know. I guess it's easy for me to sit here and not risk CTE and say I wish it was still more physical. But in basketball, yeah, I do kind of miss that. I like that guy, I do like the Knicks. So I was watching some of the Knicks, and I was saying to Paul Verzi, you know, Knicks is his team, and I was talking to him about that guy quickly. You know, I'm like, there's no way his nickname isn't the adverb. It has to be, right? And he just laughed. He goes, no one said that. Anyway, I missed the 7-footers battling. I don't think it's going to come back. So I'm just happy that I saw it. And I don't know. It's just, I think this is just, I'm just sort of realizing this is just a part of getting old. Evil nerds in Africa. Holy shit. All right. I think everybody come. I guess I hit some sensitive points. You guys are all fucking like clapping back, as the kids say. I heard somebody else say an expression wrong. One of my favorite fucking things ever. I saw a clip on the internet where this guy said, he's not the brightest bulb to ever come down the pipe. It's my favorite thing in the world. They're becoming like expressions because you know why I love it? Because I do that all the time. I fuck them up. I'll get in the middle of them and I can't fucking remember them. Like Verzi calls me out on it all the time. I remember fucking Patrice O'Neal, rest his soul. I was trying to teach him that expression. Those who can do, those who can't teach. I said that to him. He was talking about, like, I forget, probably a comedian teaching a comedy class when that was like a new thing. And he goes, you that motherfucker sitting there, you know, teaching comedy? I was like, well, you know, those who can do, those who can't teach. And he was like, what? I go, you never heard that? He was like, no. I said, yeah, those who can do, those who can't teach. It's an expression. And then he was trying to say it. He kept going, those who can do. No, wait. I go, no, those who can do. And he just kept going, those who can do. He wouldn't pause. And I was driving him home and I was just laughing my fucking ass off and he couldn't get it. And then he found those who can do, those who can't teach. Yeah, so I heard somebody, it's actually somebody I'm a fan of. He said he's not the brightest bulb to come down the pipe. And it actually, it's the original expression is to come down the pike. And then people just started saying the pipe. And also it used to be, I believe, he's not the brightest bulb, or he's not the brightest bulb on the Christmas tree. I think that was the first one. He's not. I think it was initially, he's not the brightest bulb on the Christmas tree, and then it just became too long to say. So he's not the brightest bulb. You don't need to go. When in Rome, you don't need to fucking keep going, right? Unless you're talking to Ron Burgundy, right? So anyway, I got a kick out of that. I'm starting to write them down. Do you guys want to start sending me those in? If you hear your parents or hear me or somebody just saying an expression wrong, and then we can actually find out how you're supposed to say it. So God forbid you guys won't sound as dumb as I do. All right. Evil nerds in Africa. All right. Hey, Bill, I'm an African who has lived in the U.S. since I was 12. I've been listening to your comedy since I was 15. The world views are appreciated. Look at me, huh? Old Billy back of the class actually has a decent worldview, according to one person who's allegedly from Africa. I mean, who knows? I mean, I'm just taking everything you guys write at face value. That is true, right? All right, he's an African who has lived in the U.S. since he was 12. He's been listening to podcasts since he was 15. All right, I've been reading a lot about Africa's struggle to maintain autonomous control of its continent. Oh, boy. Jesus Christ. What are we going to do to that one? Every great animal's going to be in the zoo. We're going to wipe out all the fucking forests. I don't understand. I just don't, whatever. I'm not going to think that big because it gets depressing. You're always talking about evil nerds, so I wanted to share something horrible I've been reading about and hope to shed more light on in my future professional career as a filmmaker. Well, I'm going to watch your films if you're going to be talking about evil nerds in Africa. The Gates Foundation has been supplying vaccines to African countries for almost 30 years now. In some cases, it has been successful in immunizing against things like malaria. But one vaccine they've been providing for 20 plus years was removed from North America all the way back in the 90s because it was killing more people than it helped. Oh, my God. Is that true? It is illegal to distribute this vaccine in America. When the foundation tried to sell it to Denmark, their officials asked to see the studies, but the Gates Foundation was not able to provide any information or proof that it did any good. So basically, they had invested in this vaccine. They found out it didn't fucking work. And then they had too much money in it, and they knew that it killed people, and they said, all right, fuck it, we'll go to Denmark. Now, right now, all the people that didn't take the vaccine for COVID are like, gee, that's what you're talking about. Ignoring the fact that these same people have also defeated every fucking plague since the beginning of time. For some reason, you're only as good as your last vaccine. Scientists are like the NFL quarterbacks. Or relief pitchers. You're only as good as your last fucking save. Then scientists and doctors from Denmark went to Africa to study the effects of the vaccine on a controlled population and found that it was causing more harm than good. And let me guess, these people had no idea they were being tested on. The government of Denmark tried to alert the World Health Organization that more children have died that would have been exposed to the disease in the first place. They're still distributing this vaccine and still causing unnatural effects. Why would you sell something that already is classified as a health risk? Yeah, well, I mean, you know what's funny is the same people that won't take the vaccine are eating the bread in this country, which is complete fucking poison. Our food is poison. Everything is fucking poison at this point because all anybody gives a fuck about is money. So the only thing you can bank on is they don't want to kill all of us because then they'd have to dig their own ditches, right? So I don't know. It's fucking chaos. Why, anyways? Because no one really, why would you sell something that already is classified as a health risk? Because no one really cares about Africa. They just do it for the money. Well, buddy, I got news for you. They do that here in this country with all kinds of stuff. Anyway, the person says, I don't like these nerds. Even more, I hate the idea that someone is considered intelligence based on their ability to build a computer and create a company. Yeah, I mean, Why, you know what's amazing? Why don't empathetic people ever get into positions of power? It's fucking bizarre. It's almost as if they get weeded out. So the person goes on to say, you often call yourself a moron, but you're not. You're just coming to conclusions the same way, quote, smart people do. I don't quite understand that last sentence, but if you think I'm smart, I appreciate it. All right, well, make that fucking documentary. I love documentaries. Let me see if I can find this documentary. Somebody they interviewed these people that went and fought over in the Gulf War in the very beginning, like 20 years ago, and where they are now and how they feel about it and everything. It was absolutely riveting. It was put together great. There was no politics in it. It really was what documentaries used to be before the Michael Moore generation, where Michael Moore didn't make documentaries as much as he made like op-ed pieces. This was like clearly his opinion, I finally figured it out when he like totally just ball-washed Canada. Well, they leave their doors unlocked and whoopee-doopie, there's no fucking problems up here. Anyway, here's one here. Mr. First Porsche. Hey there, you Bigfoot buffoon. You making fun of my truck, you son of a bitch? That's fighting words here in America. Parentheses. It's okay, I'm also size 12. Oh, foot size. Oh, okay. I thought you were making fun of my truck. There was a famous Ford truck in the 1980s called Bigfoot. I don't know if you guys are into monster trucks. It's okay, I'm also size 12. I'll let you borrow my Jordans. Clearly, you know what race I am now. The kind that wears lotion. Well, I mean, everybody wears Jordans, but once you said lotion, that kind of narrowed it down. Anyways, last week you talked about how anxious it'd be to have a sports car in a city. Let me tell you, it is. I recently bought my first car, a Porsche 718S. Now, I got to look this fucking thing up because I'm not good with the Porsches. I know the 911 Targa. That's the one I want. I want a new one in that 1970s orange. I don't even think they make it like that anymore. All right, Porsche. What is it? A Porsche 718S. All right. No, not Spider. S, you cunts. Stop trying to fucking write for me. Oh, shit. That's a good-looking car. What color did you get it in? Fuck you, white. You know, they always have to have those testosterone names before the colors. I don't know, my fucking throat is more than so goddamn dry. Being out there in the desert. All right, let me tell you this. I recently bought my first car. It's a Porsche 718S. 718S? 718S? I don't know how to say it. And every time someone attempts to park near it, I have to stick my eye through my blinds. Oh, my God. Last week, I was so nervous of this lady in an old car reversing quickly in front of me. I ran out of the house and guided them with my hands like I was on the tarmac marshalling a plane. All right, right off the bat, I respect the car that you bought and how much you love cars. That's amazing. / terrifying. You know? You got to fucking park next to these other people that just could give a shit. As long as it gets me from point A to point B, I don't give a fuck. I get no attention from girls. The only attention I get is from old men who occasionally come to my window and go, "You did it, kid." What year is your 718S? Last week I got an oil change, $800. Luckily I had a warranty, or else the servicing would have cost me $5,000. What'd you go to the dealership? Additionally, the car is so low, I have to get therapy for my knees from getting in and my back from the, quote, sporty suspension. And yet I love it. It's a beauty. Sports cars are one of the few things where art and science are in perfect unison. Wow. I never thought of it like that. I'm going to read that again. Sports cars are one of the few things where art and science are in perfect unison. You, sir, are a refined gentleman. Picture you drinking a little fucking espresso up in the mountains after you did a drive, like one of those fucking movies where you got one of those sweaters. They always have like those fucking sweaters on. The guy with the wavy hair. Some blonde chick with them. She also has a big sweater and no fucking pants on for whatever. That's what the commercials looked like when I was a kid. Anyway, and when I drive it through the mountains, bam, I nailed it. Fucking nailed it. That's, you know what? Every once in a while, you fucking hit a half-court shot. There is nothing that makes me happier because then it's art, science, and nature. The trifecta. Is this guy single? Ladies, you got to fucking get with this. This guy's a romantic. Hopefully one day I'll have a couple of sports cars. You know what? Nothing would make me happier, sir, than if that came to be. They make me feel better about the fact that I got 2 pickup trucks and a car. My question for you is this. How much money would you be making yearly? Should you be making yearly in relation to the car? For example, if the car is $100,000, how much should you be making yearly to feel comfortable and deal with unexpected expenses? Finally, despite the lack of word economy here, my brother and I are both comics, and we think you're one of the greatest of all time. You are a certified legend. Look at this. And your contributions to the art form will not be lost as you influence people like us every day. All right, I wrote that final paragraph. I pretended he said that. Thank you. I appreciate the kind words. All right, if you make if a car costs $100,000, well, I remember back in the day, they used to say your rent should be no more than 2 weeks' pay. And then they kept printing $1 trillion every August. This year they're going to do it in June with nothing behind it. So I don't know what that is now. But I'm a fucking conservative son of a gun here. If a car costs $100,000 and it costs $5,000 to do a fucking tune-up on it, I mean, shit. I would say well over $1 million a year, well over. And I wouldn't buy the car until I bought a house. It's so funny, buy a house and then spend the rest of your fucking life fixing every goddamn thing that breaks on it. You know what? You know something? I have no fucking idea. I've never even thought about that. All I know is like, I absolutely love machines. I love cars, aviation, RVs, boats. I don't give a fuck what it is. If you turn it on and it goes, I am absolutely fascinated with it, and I'm thrilled for the person that owns it. People that have snowmobiles. I got a buddy of mine, my old boss. I still talk to my old boss. How funny is that? I had a boss like fucking 35 years ago. I talk to him probably 3 times a week about sports. And he keeps inviting me to go snowmobile. And I'm like, I got to get back there. I got to get back east, when it's fucking snowing out. Motorcycles. I just find all of that shit, old shit, new shit, weird shit. I like all of it. So I'm just happy that you have the car. And who the fuck are you as a comedian that you can buy $100,000 car and I don't know who you are? I would think you're making a lot of fucking money, right? Which is another good thing. I hope you bought that car telling jokes. That's even better. Dude, when you can buy a car like that, living your dream, you're literally getting away with murder. It's amazing. And you know something? When you live a life like that, you're a happy guy, and then you root for people. When my life wasn't going well, I'd see a guy in a Porsche, I would have to look at the guy. If I looked at the guy and he looked like a douche, I'd say, look at this fucking douche and his fucking Porsche. I would say that, but I didn't straight across. I was never straight across the board because I was always too enamored with the car. So if the person was actually didn't look like a douche, then I would just be looking at him like, wow, what's it like to be you? But if they look like a douche, I was like, fuck that guy with the stupid ass fucking car. I don't know. I can just tell you, I would not buy a fucking, excuse me, Jesus Christ, hiccup and a burp. I would not buy a fucking $100,000 car before I owned a house. But I'm also of the generation that like to watch the NBA when 7-footers battled under the rim. So I don't know what's going on. I'm also of the generation where they told you when you could do a stand-up special. You as the comedian didn't decide. And there was like fucking HBO was where you wanted to be. That was it. Now there's like a zillion places you could go. So I have no fucking idea. All I know is I'm happy that you have that car and you're fucking enjoying it. All right? That's it. That's the podcast. Go fuck yourselves, and I'll check in on you on Thursday.